Have you checked your savings account recently? With some of Australia's popular banks changing their policies on their savings accounts, it's time to check that you're still getting the best rate and that your bank hasn't pulled the rug from under you. Here are Australia's best savings rates as of October 2025. Welcome to Get Started Investing, a show where we help you make the most of your money. My name is Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my equity buddy, Ren. How are you going?
I'm very good, Bryce. Very excited for this episode. These are the episodes where we truly help you make the most of your money.
Big time.
Getting your savings account right is one of the easiest things you can do. I was going to say the easiest, but I would also say getting your superannuation right is pretty easy and pretty impactful. Getting your superannuation right is more impactful than savings rates, but don't let that stop you watching this episode because it is important. So we're going to unpack the best savings accounts in Australia with hoops, deposit this, transact that, just the straight up best savings rate you can get. And then we're also going to unpack the best savings accounts where there are no hoops, where they'll pay you interest regardless of if you spend money and if you don't spend money, anything. So that's what we're going to do, but in your intro, you flagged why we're doing this episode today.
Yes.
Because savings accounts have been in the news of late.
They have been. Two banks in particular have got some of the community a little bit riled up.
And some of the Equity Mates team members were pretty hot under the collar.
Yeah, this one came from some team members. The two banks are UBank and UBank. Two, should I say, very popular banks for the Equity Mates community and particularly younger Australians. But they haven't been happy because they've both changed some of the rules when it comes to their savings accounts.
Yeah, and we pulled some Yahoo Finance headlines that arguably catastrophized.
Very much so.
This is another example where financial media's incentive is to get you to click.
Yeah.
Financial media doesn't have an incentive to help you make good long-term financial decisions.
No.
That is by the by, but here's how Yahoo Finance, we'll start with UBank. UBank sparks boycott threats over $1 change to savings interest rate. Quote, deal breaker for me. So reading that, I mean, like, what do you think was the deal breaker?
That they've changed the way that they, I guess, attribute savings to your account.
Yeah, well, I mean, So the change for UBank was you have to grow your savings account by at least $1 to get the bonus interest rate.
So they've removed that.
No, they've introduced that.
Oh, they've introduced it.
Yeah, before it was just you put
the money in and away it goes.
Yeah, that is a change and it would be annoying for people, but it's not. It's pretty standard these days. Yeah. So that was UBank. UBank. Now, this is one that got people in the office hot under the collar. Let's start with the Yahoo Finance headline. Young Aussies blast UBank over diabolical savings interest rate change. Quote, punished. So from that headline, what do you think the change was?
Well, the headline's not actually that clear, but I can say what they have done is they've moved from that sort of no hoops system where they were paying 3.85% regardless of what you did with your money. Now they've changed it to a hoop system where they pay 4.6%, but if you do anything like a withdrawal, it goes down to the 1.25%.
Yeah, and this one is a bit more annoying for people just because UBank really pioneered the digital version of the envelope budgeting system.
Yeah.
For people who are unfamiliar, the envelope stuffing budgeting system was where you would actually get your cash and you'd put your cash in different envelopes, bills, spending, investing, travel, and you would actually stuff envelopes as like a mental, like I can see my money being saved in particular buckets.
Yeah.
And then UBank created the digital version of that where you could create up to 50 savings accounts and get the interest on all of them.
Yeah.
And so people would have like their travel and their fish food and their car and all of that stuff. And people loved it because some of those envelopes you take money out of each month, but with the money that was left in there, you still got the bonus interest. You no longer can do that because you've got to keep the money in the system. You only get the bonus interest if nothing is withdrawn.
Yeah.
So for some people, they're complaining that it stuffs up their digital envelope stuffing system.
Yeah.
But again, UBank and UBank moving from a no hoop system to a hoop system, it's It's annoying, but pretty standard.
Yeah,
I think,
we're not sort of ragging on these two to say they're the worst, but
no. It's just in the
very
headlines.
common.
Yahoo Finance are certainly trying to get clicks out of it, but I think it is a useful entryway into this episode, because the point is, as much as it feels like savings accounts are just something that you sort of get right once and then you never check in it again, these offers are constantly changing.
Yeah.
And these are just two examples that sort of made headlines, but they're not the only examples. So last time we did this episode was on the 1st of July.
Yep.
I went back and looked at our prep doc for that to just see how much has changed in 3 months. Not that long. On the 1st of July, 4 banks were offering 5% savings rates.
Yep.
Now no one is offering 5%. Of those 4 that were offering 5% rates, they were the equal first. Now 2 of those 4 aren't even in the top 5.
Wow.
So these things do move around a lot. The offerings do change. And then in terms of our no hoops category, our top 5 no hoops, we have a new number 1 that wasn't even in the top 5 last time we did it 3 months ago.
Crazy.
So it's important to stress there's a reason we do these episodes semi-regularly. It's because things change semi-regularly. And so UBank and UBank captured the headlines, but underneath there's heaps of changes going on. So it's worth checking your rate.
Also, just to note that we've had one official cash rate change since the 1st of July, since that episode of 0.25%.
Yeah, well, in August they cut.
In August. However, all those savings accounts have dropped more than the cash rate.
Yes.
Sneaky. All right, Ren, well, let's get into it. We've got 2 categories that we're going to go through: the best savings rates with any conditions, and then the best saving rates with no hurdles or conditions on them.
Yes.
So let's get to the first one: best savings rates with any condition.
All right, so we're doing a top 5 for this, but 4 and 5 are equal 4th. So the up, grow and flow, 4.6%, up being the one we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
The hoop that you have to jump through there is no withdrawals.
Yeah.
So 4.6%. And then the MeBank home loan save and spend me, you have to deposit $2,000 to the linked transaction account to get the bonus interest rate of 4.6%. Coming in at number 3, we've got Rabobank Premium Saver, 4.65%. You have to grow your balance by at least $200 per month. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Move Growth Saver account, 4.75%. The condition there is you have to deposit $200 a month, at least $200 a month, and have no withdrawals. Coming in at number 1, always right at the top.
Always.
ING Savings Maximizer, 4.8%. You have to deposit $1,000 and do at least 5 transactions in the associated spending account.
Yeah. Look, we've been with ING, although I have sort of moved to another setup at the moment, but ING always at the top.
ING always at the top.
You can have faith that they're always up there.
Yeah.
Look, so those are the top 5. If you know that you can match the conditions, still some pretty decent rates there, 4.8% for ING. But again, you have to match the conditions. Those conditions are generally monthly. It doesn't mean if you miss it once, you're going to get wiped out for the entire year.
I actually don't think it's generally monthly. I think every single one we looked at resets monthly.
There you go. So we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, we're going to look at the accounts that have no conditions or hoops to jump through. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Started Investing. We are looking at the top savings accounts. And Ren, we're up to the category that we think is the best, which is the accounts that offer no hoops, no hurdles, no gimmicks, just a rate that you can guarantee until they change it again.
Yes. It's funny because as soon as you say we think they're the best, I just go to the social media comments. Like, of all the content we do, I would say property gets the most comments, but savings accounts surprisingly gets the second most amount of comments.
Rephrase.
People have a real strong association with their savings accounts.
I'm not saying these specific accounts we think are the best, because these are just driven by pure maths. Yes. I'm saying this category is what we think is the best.
And so and we think that because, like, sure, if you can build an automated system to meet the hurdles and conditions, great.
Yep.
But the best way to ensure you're getting a good savings rate is to just not have to meet conditions.
Yep.
To just get it.
Yeah. And so that's why this one, the best savings rates with no hurdles or conditions, is our favoured category, I should say. So let's go through it, Ren. We've got a number to get through.
Well, we were going to do top 5, but there were 5 that sat equal third.
Nice.
So we've got 7 to go through here because, we don't want to miss any that are equal.
Yeah.
So coming in at equal third, we've got 5. We've got the AMP Cash Manager, AMP GoSave, Heartland Bank My Savings Account, Bank Orange Online Saver Account, and the Macquarie Savings Account, all paying 4.25%.
Yes.
So they're all sitting at equal third. Second, we've got Australian Unity Freedom Saver paying 4.35%. And coming in at number 1, a new entry to our leaderboard. Wasn't on the leaderboard last time we did this. Arab Bank Personal Online Savings Account, 4.55%.
There you go, new entry. Love to see it. So if we just compare that 4.55% for the top to do with no hurdles, no conditions, compared to 4.8 for ING Saver.
Yeah.
So not a huge discrepancy, but I think peace of mind if you want to go, if you don't want to have to worry about it, then those are the top 5 here in Australia. So Ren, for the astute listeners, there's been some notable absences.
Yes.
The first is, 3, honeymoon rates, no big banks, and kids or age-based accounts. I shouldn't say kids, age-based accounts.
Yeah, well, where do you want to start there?
Let's start with honeymoon rates.
Okay, I hate honeymoon rates.
Yes,
do you hate them as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
We hate honeymoon rates. The reason we hate them is you have to keep chasing.
What are they?
Oh, great question. So a lot of banks will have like an introductory rate. For the first 4 months, we'll give you 4.8%. And then it will drop to 1%. And so they thrive on the big shiny carrot of 4.8%, but where they make their money is then you forgetting to change.
Yeah.
And like with so many things in personal finance, the way to succeed is to set up a process where you can do less, where it's automated, where the system takes care of it, and you don't have to, keep checking or keep your finger on the pulse or keep doing things.
Yeah.
And chasing introductory rates is just a recipe for you to forget and then start getting a worse savings rate.
Yeah. So keep an eye on it. Stay away if you can.
Well, just like it's not worth chasing it. If you get a 4 months, you have to change 3 times a year. Just get a good savings rate. Ideally one with no hoops or one with hoops that you can satisfy in an automated way like your spending account is with ING.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to think about this until we next do this episode.
And I mean, the same applies. It's true. The same applies. We didn't cover any age-based accounts. These are accounts that offer higher interest rates for specific age brackets, 18 to 24, 36 and over.
The classic offender for this is your former employer, Bank of Queensland.
Yes.
For some reason, they have all these different age-based accounts and they all have basically the same rates. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe they just needed to fill out their product page a little bit more.
Yeah.
36 plus, 18 to 24. But just in the interest of keeping, like, you don't need it. If you do want to investigate them, you can. But obviously, we're trying to make content here for everyone. And the important thing is, it's not like the age bracketed accounts were better than these accounts that we've spoken about.
Yeah.
So we just excluded them from the list.
And then finally, big 4 banks, none of them appeared in those lists that we went through. They're not bad, but they're never the best.
Yes.
These other sort of smaller online banks always try and pride themselves on the interest rates that they do offer. And also when we compare it to July Ren, where we did say there's been 1 rate cut since doing that episode, all big 4 banks have cut their interest rates.
Yeah, they've all cut exactly the amount the RBA cut, except for CBA, who cut a slightly bit less. But let's go through them. You can see how tightly clustered they all are. So 3 of the 4 big 4 banks sit at 4.25%. CBA Goal Saver, Westpac Life, and then the ANZ Flex Saver and ANZ Save Account all sit at 4.25%. NAB Reward Saver sits at 4.1%. Important to stress, all the big 4 banks are a hurdle or hoop-based system.
Yep.
You have to fulfill the requirements to get the bonus rate, the maximum rate. But yeah, look, if you're with a big 4 bank, you're not completely out of the market.
You're not out of it, no.
There is always slightly better ones. And the reason is these high interest savings accounts are loss leaders for the banks. Yeah. That's why they'll all have like an upper dollar limit on the amount that they can pay because they want to get you in. And so, you know, these smaller banks obviously are more aggressive because they are seeking customers more aggressively than the big four banks.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Australia's top savings accounts for the month of October. This is content that we can keep doing month on month. We won't, but we will be back to review it, I'm sure, by the end of the year, particularly as the rates change.
As interest rates change. But I think the point to stress is we had one rate cut, as you've said a couple of times.
Yeah.
And things changed massively.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to keep doing it.
Stay on top of it. But look, we'll keep doing this content for you so you don't have to. Keep tuning in to get started investing. And if you've taken a lot out of this episode, we'd love it if you could leave a rating and a review in your podcast app or leave us a comment below in the YouTube section and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ren, that does it for this week. We'll be back next week looking at the cheapest ETFs here in Australia. Speak then.
Sounds good.